Half-Wheel's coverage of the 2018 IPCPR Convention and Trade Show is brought to you by Davidoff, celebrating 50 years of pioneering.
Are we on camera?
Go.
Hi, it's Charlie Minato, and I'm here in the Las Vegas Convention Center in North Hall at the Half-Wheel Bunker.
And I'm Brian Burt.
You're also here.
I'm also here.
Present. All right, so it is 8:53 local time, which is 8 minutes after we originally intended on starting this, and the trade show is going to open in about 40-ish minutes. For 37 minutes, it'll open for the IPCPR PAC guests. We're wearing a PAC lanyard there. So that's people that have donated to the IPCPR's Political Action Committee, which helps to lobby and fund lawsuits against the FDA. And so those members, and it's a relatively small group. We used to do that, Brian, if you remember. I guess we still are here. Yeah. But it's a relatively small group. And then really at 10:30, the flood, you'll actually, if you were to walk outside at 10:30, you would see a whole bunch of people lining up, waiting to come in. And that's really when the action starts to get going in the convention center.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a retailer, I would definitely see the benefit in being a PAC member because it is much easier to talk to the the manufacturers before the chaos that ensues. So yeah.
Well, I think the other thing about that's a lot easier is if you're going to go to a booth that's going to have a lot of people in it, because most of the retailers, unlike us, actually set appointments. But if you're going to go to a booth that's got a lot of retailers in it, like say the Drew Estate booth, and you actually want to be able to hear the person sitting next to you, going at 9:30 versus going at 10:30 or at 11 or any other time once the trade show starts is really a big difference. Except I guess maybe on day 4, but at that point, the Liga Privada and Rosario's will be sold out. So
yeah. No, if you want to hit it early, it's definitely worth it, I'd say.
All right, so today's guests are from Davidoff of Geneva, USA, and they're outside. We're going to talk to them shortly. But before we do that, they have graciously left us with some cigars. And Brian, you're going to smoke. You have not had this yet, right?
I have not had it.
All right, so Brian's going to light up the Davidoff 50th Diademas. While you do that, I'm going to talk about your cigar. And so the Davidoff 50th Diademas Finis is based off the Davidoff Diademas Finis. It's the same size. They say it's the same blend, but we don't really know. They never disclosed the original blend. They've disclosed this one, and it's made to honor Davidoff's the brand's 50th anniversary. It got reviewed earlier this year on Half-Wheel and scored 91 points, and I think it's a great cigar. I was surprised when I smoked it because I found a lot of the tasting notes. Some are typical, some aren't very typical of Davidoff. But what was interesting was that when I went back and read my review of the original Diademas Finis, it definitely seemed like a lot of the things that I was picking up 7, 8 years down the road with the Diademas Finis are things that are probably here. It's going to be a little bit bolder than your typical Davidoff, but the good news is it's great because the Diademas Finis aged wonderfully, and I certainly they're going to start shipping these I think in the next week, and I'm certainly going to buy a few of these jars. And the jars also are. I don't know if you've had any chance to. Yeah,
it comes. If you didn't read Charlie's review, it comes with 4 different types of artwork on it, and I forget the specific.
One of 4 different artworks. So it's not countries; it's regions. So it's Asia, the Americas, Europe, and the Middle East.
And do you know which one this is? I believe that's.
It's not Asia, and I don't believe it's the Americas.
It's not the Americas, so it's either the Middle East or what was the other
one? Europe.
Yeah, Europe. So. No, it's a beautiful jar. The pictures don't do it justice, obviously. They usually don't. But certainly...
Can I have your scissors, by the way? I don't want to destroy this box of Davidoffs. Yeah, so anything stand out to you? I know I wrote the blog for today, but you've been here in Vegas now for a little over 36 hours. Anything notable? We've been a little busy, unlike in prior years.
Well, I mean, yeah, we've certainly been way busier within the first 24 hours of arriving than I think we ever have before. But I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. The positivity or lack of negativity from everybody here, it has been very surprising. I haven't heard the gloom and doom of previous years, and that's great.
Yeah, no, I mentioned that was I think my final point in today's daily blog that. Obviously, we had Scott Pierce on yesterday, and he was talking about, the fact that they were tracking to have a better show than last year. Now, the caveat is they were down like 11.3% in retail attendance last year. I don't know if I'm sold on this Colibri cutter yet. Anyway, sorry. So, they tracked way down last year, or they were way down last year compared to 2016. He said he didn't think they would get to 2016 levels, but maybe. But regardless, what the striking part is that the manufacturers are talking about, like, hey, there seems to be more people here, which is, those people, you could have, Kanye West and Tupac out there performing, and they'd still find reasons to complain.
Yeah.
Which, for those, that's probably the wrong demographic for that hologram performance. But, all right, so do you know what I'm smoking, Brian Burt?
It's one of the AVO 30-year anniversaries.
So the answer would be no.
Don't know which one specifically.
So this is the LEO 5.
Okay.
And
that's obviously by the box, but I'm going to let you talk about it.
That's one of the legendary AVO limited editions. The AVO 22 has hit stores already in jars. Have you had a chance to smoke that one yet?
I haven't smoked the one in jars. I got a chance to. I've smoked numerous of the first one that was released, the one that you did the review on.
So the Churchill or what?
Yeah, it was the Churchill.
Yeah. So the 22s just started showing up in jars, and the LEO 5 is really the other signature AVO limited edition. I actually smoked this back when we were at the Davidoff store in Tampa for that event, or for our Facebook Live event then, and found it to be very, very good. Maybe not the best morning cigar. It's going to be a little bit stronger, if memory serves me correct, than what you're smoking, but, empty stomach, trade show, what could go wrong?
I know you said just some tasting notes from your review that this is going to be a little bit stronger and not nearly as mellow as the Diadema that you smoked years ago.
That
obviously,
was obviously aged quite a bit.
But I can taste it. It's got a very smooth, great flavor, but it's certainly stronger than I would expect right off the bat. So,
all right, you want to get a nice beauty shot here? That's perfect.
I don't know what we're doing with this.
Oh, you got smoke inside of you. Is that working? Yes. Look at the modern, wonderful technology. Okay. Anything else? Any booths you're looking forward to, Brian, today? I know you've got somewhat of a light schedule because you're going to go do our video walkthroughs at about 20 booths. But who's the big one? You have Romacraft.
Well, I know right off the bat, I'm going to go visit the Romacraft booth first thing.
Do you actually think Skip Martin's going to be there?
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. I have faith. Now, I'm excited.
I guess he was there 2 years ago, because 2 years ago is when he did the whole Cuban on a tire thing.
Yeah, no, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was.
That was good. But no, I'm excited to see their new booth. I haven't really had a chance to walk the floor yet. It's pretty much been the aisle from the entrance down to our booth, and that's it.
Well, I haven't really walked the show floor either. I managed to make it way down this way in the back and down this way to try to get power and internet dropped off. But I haven't really been anywhere up front or anywhere over there. And the interesting part about how we cover the trade show now is that because you're sort of designated to go in certain zones, like there's a good chance that I think like this section in the front over here, so it would be like the southwest section, like I won't see it for the most part, like in its entirety basically until day 3 or any of it. And it always makes for a weird trade show because people will be like, oh, this booth, this booth, this booth. And you're like, well, yeah, I haven't walked over there yet because I've only gotten, 40% of the way through.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Davidoff booth is right inside the door.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to miss it, but it's the new booth this year, and I'm not covering it, but it looks beautiful.
Well, Davidoff's got a new booth, Ashton's got a new booth, Romacraft's got a new booth. CLE told me yesterday night that they're actually using a different booth, maybe not a new one, and I suspect there's going to be a lot more people in new booths, and so that's always interesting. All right, so we're going to have a little changeover on set here. We're going to bring in our next 2 guests, assuming that they are here. And so our next 2 guests are both from Davidoff of Geneva, USA. So give us about 45 seconds, and Brian and I are going to get uncomfortably close. Alberto, you can come in.
Morning, guys. Morning. Good here? You're good.
That is way too many props, Scott. All right, so Scott Kolesaire is a veteran of half-wheel. You are too, I guess. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, veteran.
Yeah. So you guys want to introduce yourselves? And yeah, if you can get like semi-close to the microphone, it's always a good idea.
I love the mics.
Go ahead.
Boom. All right. Where am I looking? Over here? Over there? Here? Okay. Scott Kolesaire. I'm with Davidoff of Geneva. I'm the director of marketing for AVO, Camacho, Xeno Platinum. And yeah, really happy to be here this morning, bright and early, first day of IPCPR. So here we go.
My name's Alberto Rosario. I'm the senior retail marketing manager for Davidoff of Geneva since 1911.
That's a made-up title, right?
Yes. You know what it is.
And there's a lot of prepositions there. That implies that you might be, since 1911, you've been the senior retail marketing manager, right?
It's a long
Yes.
time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So we have a lot to talk about. We've stolen some of your cigars because it's IPCPR, so that's what happens. So where do we want to start off? Do you want to start with Davidoff, or do we want to start off with Cusano?
Flip a quarter.
We don't have a quarter. It's Vegas.
Flip something. I can flip the loop.
What? Yeah, we can flip that. All right. Let's start with Scott's stuff. Okay.
All right.
So you want to start with AVO or Camacho?
Let's, why don't we start with AVO and go into Camacho?
All right. So it's a small year for AVO, right?
Yeah.
Not a lot of new products. Not a lot
Very
of things
light.
we're going to get excited about. Not a big year or anything. Why don't you tell us what's going on this year and what some of the things that you've brought for us to see?
You got it. So we're celebrating 30 years of AVO cigars this year, and so it's been very special. And starting, it was back in February, we kicked off kind of the whole launch of 30 years with Half Wheel. We were at the Davidoff of Geneva since 1911 Tampa store with Half Wheel, and we went through a lot of the products, and that was the first time we revealed everything. So since that time, we had the AVO 30th Improvisation Series launch in March. So that kind of kicked it off. New blend, double Corona format, 25 count box. Really a great cigar. Mild to medium. Had great reception to kick it off. So it was a nice way to start the year. And then following that, in April, we launched the AVO Maduro 30 years version. So AVO Maduro, obviously a line we had years ago that hadn't made its way when we refreshed the AVO brand in 2015. It didn't come along for the ride. So it was a great opportunity for us to bring it back because there were a lot of fans out there that, were missing it. And then we wanted to bring it back for a limited time. So we did that in 4 formats with huge success, sold out immediately, and people were really, really excited about it. Fast forward to June, launched the AVO 22 30 years edition, and this was really cool. I mean, we haven't had AVO 22 obviously since 2002 in a box that you could only get it. It was featured in the Greatest Hits sampler in 2014, but it was the first time where people could actually get a box of AVO 22s. So super exciting, and that had just launched at the end of June, and people are really enjoying that. So that was kind of the first half of the year.
It's a mild half, I'd say.
Yeah, right. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
So then we're basically starting the second half now, and just this week we started shipping the AVO Signature 30 years, which I brought to show. AVO Signature was AVO's, blend that it was really donned his name and something that he was very proud of. So we wanted to bring this back in its 10 count boxes. That's where it officially and initially launched, and then we had it in 20 count boxes for a while. So this was a great opportunity to bring it back. The packaging on it is, again, this modern looking take on what the original colors and style was. So something really fun. Again, limited 1,500 boxes per format. and you have the key ones, the Robusto, the Double Corona, and the Bellicoso. So, so that just kicked off to start the second half of the year, and then we move on to something really special, and that is the elusive AVO Elio 5. And Charlie's got a box here. This is actual production box, and
Don't break these.
yeah, don't break that. Yeah, exactly. So this is one, the blend from Elio 5. I mean, this was really probably the most highly regarded AVO release, limited edition we've had, and to bring it back was a challenge. We didn't know if we could. Back in, again, 2014, when we launched the Greatest Hits sampler, we could not, Eladio, Hankey, AVO, did not feel comfortable releasing the blend that we had for Elio 5 to match it. It was 98%, and that was not good enough. So they continued to work on it, and then nailed it, and we basically waited 2 years for the perfect time to bring it out, and that was to celebrate 30 years. So very limited, 300 units of 520 count boxes. So 100 count, basically, units, and they were sold out the first day of.
Sold out?
They were sold out for us, and then start shipping to retail this September. So very exciting.
All right, and so now let's get to the Fuck Your Packaging Awards Part 2. I see it over there. What's going on with that small box?
It's the first thing. So this is the new Camacho Diploma, 1118 format. So last year we launched the Diploma version that it was Robusto format, special selection. And here we go. It was a packaging award winner from Half-Wheel, so we were very happy with that. But again, the packaging itself has these individual coffins here, and filled with 18 cigars. And again, back to our original 1118 format. Same blend Diploma, but something we're super excited about. And this is going to be launching at the end of August. We're going to go a little earlier. Diploma is something we release just one time a year. So last year we had the special Robusto, and it was only open for a period of 2 months and then closed. So this August, when we release this, we will also have quantities of the Robusto available as well.
I know Brooks is happy. Those coffins look like they're matte this year.
Matte finish,
not
correct.
Metallic.
That's correct.
Yes, that'll be a little bit easier to photograph in the
Yes,
studio.
yeah, exactly.
All right. So, I think that it's time to move on to, or we'll have Scott show the band for this. So slightly bigger size this year,
Yeah.
or longer size.
Longer 1118, so your smaller tapered end with the bigger middle.
All right, and so obviously it's been maybe not as big of a year for Camacho, but still quite a few Camachos coming out, including the massive, I'm sure, very light box of cigars. All right, Berto. It's been a slightly quieter year for you and your brand. Well, not maybe on the retail side, but for Davidoff, who you're allegedly representing here today.
Yes, of course.
But another anniversary.
Yes, another anniversary. So 50 years of Davidoff cigars. We're celebrating 50 years of innovation, heritage, tradition.
Oh, everyone on our website will know that. That ad is very
It's all up
prominent.
there.
Yeah.
So this year, to celebrate the 50th anniversary, we launched the Dia de Mas Finas, brought back one of the holy grails of Davidoff cigars.
And those didn't sell out, right? Those were still sitting on something?
No. Yeah, you would think maybe one or two, right?
At $38 maybe, but you know.
You got one, right?
I got one. Brian's got one. How's it smoking, Brian?
It's good. It's good.
First cigar of the day.
Yeah,
you get?
first one. So
No, it's great. It's got some traditional, white label notes in there, but it certainly upped it a notch.
yeah.
So it's good. I like it so far. Yeah.
So we chose to use this cigar just the history that cigar has. It was originally created to celebrate the 100-year birth of Zeno Davidoff, our founder. So it made complete sense to bring it back to celebrate 50 years of Davidoff cigars. So within that, we decided to launch it within these ceramic jars, and it's designed around the four corners of the world, going back to Zeno Davidoff's history of travel and how he developed Davidoff cigars and all the series that we created to develop such a vast portfolio of cigars. But earlier in the year, it's to start off the celebration of the 50-year anniversary, we had the launch of the 702 Selección, which is one of the best limited editions that Davidoff has ever created as well. It was originally launched in 2009. That one, of course, immediately just sold out. And a reproduction, and I've tested it, and I've spoken to numerous people that they've tried with their collection of the original release, and it is practically the same exact cigar. So we had great success with the 702. Winston Churchill, which is one of the newest endeavors that we've taken, and it's been widely successful for us. So you have the iconic pillar, which you have the white label portion of Winston Churchill, and then the late hour, which this year has just taken off very well.
And you got some new accessories for Winston Churchill. We're giving away an ashtray today, and I think an ashtray again tomorrow. And then you have an item that we're giving away later on in the week down there.
Yeah, so today we'd be doing...
So I think this is the giveaway for Monday, not this particular one that Burt just ashed on.
Yeah, just...
Will it come with the bottle of summer water? Or?
What was that?
Will it come with the bottle of water? Or,
yes, yeah, it shall. So it's a travel humidor. Magnetic seal. Has two pockets so you can store your cutter and lighter.
It does not come with a Duvon lighter.
It does not. It does not come with accessories. It is a numbered collection, limited edition, total 400 created for the world. And we have individual slots for 8 cigars.
Which does not come with for FDA.
And it does not come with
For FDA reasons.
So that'll be the giveaway on Monday, and then the Tuesday giveaway we'll talk about later.
Whoa.
But there might be a hint. That's
So this is one of the
oh, you can get
lighters.
closer. You can throw it up right in here. There we go.
You see that?
Yeah, see it?
So this is one of the lighters out of the 4 that were designed to commemorate the 50 years of Davidoff cigars. You see the 50th logo, and this one is actually the design that is focused on Asia. You'll see the similar designs within all of the jars. And there are also humidors that we've designed in the giant format that fit about 175 cigars.
What's the goal? Like, how many humidors are you hoping to honestly sell? Because they're $15,000. If you sell 4, it's a really good trade show on $15,000 humidor sales.
Yeah. Maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 10.
10 would be a big number.
Yes, it would
That'd be a lot. And they're not small humidors. That's the
They're
other
not. They are large, but they are very beautiful. We collaborated with a French designer. Her name is Marianne Leger, and the technique that she uses is just definitely come by the booth and take a look at the humidor. It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We have one of the designs on display, and it's the Asia version, just because it's very large and we're limited on how many pedestals we can display. But we do have more information available, and we could show more of the designs, the additional 3 designs.
No, it was when we did our top 5 accessories, it was my #1 accessory. I'm fascinated to see it. Fascinated to see who buys one. You know, I'm fascinated to see if it has an impact on Kia sales in the United States.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions for us?
Questions. How do you like this cool room we're in?
You're an asshole.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I'm surprised I'm not sweating like crazy, honestly.
You're
It's
also
pretty warm. But
yeah.
I'm probably glistening right now. It's just
No.
You got a healthy
I got
glow.
something
It's
going
a
on.
So
healthy
yesterday it
right.
was a little warm back here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They don't turn the air conditioning on until
For
first day.
3.5 hours of Facebook Live. A lot more people. Yeah, no, it's the room is nice. It's nice. We're very thankful the IPCPR is let us onto the show floor and is willing to let us spend lots of money on furniture and walls and internet. It's certainly going to be. It should be a big help for us today. But next year I think we're going to get a slightly larger room if we do this again.
Oh, good.
It's a little cramped.
No, but it's cool that you have your own space
It's not
and
cool.
it's.
I mean, it's cool today.
It's cool today. Yeah,
yesterday
it was
not-
hot. Yeah.
Yesterday was not cool. Yeah, and you guys have a new booth this year.
Yeah. Yes, you have to
do.
come by and
Yeah.
check. Yeah, check it out.
Yeah,
so
I'm going back there as soon as we're done.
It's-
I want to lounge out a little bit, but you guys should definitely come by. It's beautiful.
It's
The
Absolutely.
piano back, or
What was that?
Was the piano axed in the booth design?
yes, we took the booth down in size slightly, and
You took it down 1,000 square feet.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big reduction.
it's a big
It's-
reduction.
it
But
is.
when you see the booth, I mean, it really brings everything together. We almost had too much space and things were spread out.
Yeah.
Setting up everything yesterday, it was fun. It was kind of like this feeling of being in like this homely feeling,
Yeah.
to it, and everything was being spaced out differently, and it's a little more condensed, which gives it. There's no real empty space, which we had prior.
Yeah.
And
It definitely ties everything together.
ties everything together nice,
does.
and with the centerpiece being kind of the Davidoff lounge.
Yeah. It's a comfortable setting. People can come, enjoy, hang out,
Yeah,
enjoy a cigar, walk around, and view all of the product within a short amount of time instead of having a lot of the open space. It is a benefit to decrease the size and actually it's a better design solution.
Yes.
Just walking by it, it looked very inviting, like somebody's
Yeah,
living room.
it
that I could
does,
come
right?
Sit down and
Yeah,
talk
exactly.
to you guys about the
That-
product. It was really, really good looking. I'm looking forward to walking through it. So.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
And a good portion of it also is a theater that we have within the booth, where we'll be doing some tastings where people can show up to our booth and sign up, and we'll be doing some for Camacho, AVO, and for Davidoff cigars, where we'll be doing the Davidoff 50th year, and the tasting with a tequila this afternoon.
Dylan Austin's promotion is fully in effect. We're doing tequila tastings in the booth.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The scotch is
And-
gone.
Yeah.
And out comes the 1942.
And we
All
we
right.
also-
So, on that wonderful note that two people at this table are going to yell that for, and I might be one of them, we're going to call this a day. The trade show is about 10 minutes from opening, and I know these two have to get back so they can
Yep.
have fun with their appointed merchants and start taking some orders, because Scott's got some AVO LEO 5 boxes to sell probably.
that's right. That's right.
Or not. Or
And
maybe
I'm-
they're sold out.
I'm gonna leave that one with you guys.
All right,
okay.
we'll try to take care of
Yeah.
it. So, and Bert's going to try to sell Humidor. He's going to let us know how it goes.
I'll let you know this afternoon.
Sorry?
I'll let you know this afternoon.
Yeah. We'll stop by. So, if you're new to Halfwheel and new to how we cover the trade show, get ready. First of all, there's about 6 or 7 General Cigar press releases going out, including one of the there's one press release that I think you guys as Davidoff will be curious about, because there's a price point they're going to go after that's a little bit high. Not as high as Oro Blanco, but in that sort of like, oh, that's not a cheap cigar. And then there's another announcement they have that is fascinating about what they're doing. And those will start to go out in 9 minutes. So if you're on the site, get ready to be bombarded about news about Cohiba, Macanudo, La Gloria, and Partagas, Onyx. I think something, right? Onyx? Yeah. All right. So then you will start to see booth coverage come in. We have 4 people. So behind the cameras are Patrick Legreed and Brooks Whittington. They will also be joining Brian, Burt, and I on the trade show floor. We're all going to spread out. We're going to see some coverage from some booths, some interesting booths today. Probably have General's booth on. I know you're going to Roma Craft first. I think Patrick's doing Padron first. Brooks has got Dominion first, but he's going to go around and hit up some other companies. Dominion's a company that's like right next door, so it's trying to get these things up as quickly as
yeah,
possible.
you guys are busy. Yeah.
No, and so we're probably going to visit, between 50, I would say 50 would be a problem, but probably close to 70 booths today. And the hope is to have about 15 of them on the site. We have the contest. If you leave a comment below, or on any of the posts on Half Wheel, not on Facebook, but on any of the posts that are published today on Half Wheel, you'll be entered to win the first of 2 Davidoff Winston Churchill ashtrays. It's a $390 French-made ashtray. It took 14 French craftsmen apparently to make these ashtrays, and according to your marketing material at least, I didn't see them. Allegedly 14 French craftsmen. So that'll be the coverage. We'll have a new segment later today. So after the trade show finishes, it closes at around 5 today. So at about 6 p.m. local time or 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be back for a very brief Facebook Live. It'll just be me. There'll be no other guests. And then as well as it'll be on Instagram Live as well. And we'll do those daily. So you'll see one from Brian, one from Brooks, one from Patrick as the show goes on. And then we'll be back here tomorrow morning if you're on the West Coast. If you're on the East Coast, it'll be midday tomorrow. And we have Drew Newman from J.C. Newman Cigar Company. He'll be here to talk about the American and all the other things that are going on at J.C. Newman. And Patrick Legreed will lead that conversation, and I'll be along for the ride. And then on Monday, day 3, we've got John Huber from Crown Heads. Brooks and Patrick will interview Mr. Huber, and they'll talk about all the releases from Crown Heads. And in between that point and now, you'll probably have about 65 to 70 booths go up on halfwheel.com and some more Davidoff contests. So thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for accidentally leaving stuff. If you want to bring over one of those humidors, we'll find a way to ship it back to Dallas. And yep. Until next time.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Wheels coverage of the 2018 IPCPR Convention and Trade Show is brought to you by Davidoff, celebrating 50 years of pioneering.